Another running back looking to make a statement today is senior running back Kareem Hunt, just 331 rushing yards away from Toledo's all-time rushing record.
For the second year in a row, the Generals spoil the Wildcats' perfect record. This year, it's Evan Brown going for 3 touchdowns and an interception, all on a sprained ankle. It was 30 points for Kyrie, 32 for LeBron, and all of a sudden, we have a series that is very much alive. The 4th largest crowd ever at Comerica Park, and Jordan Zimmerman showed up. I'm here with the now 2-time Marathon Classic champion, Lydia Ko. Lydia, it's called the Marathon Classic. Today was exactly that, a little bit of a marathon and definitely a classic.
As I took to my next Olympic tryout, I quickly learned all these years foregoing stretching was about to come back to haunt me. The dream is still very much alive, but if you know me, you know I like to ride unicycles. I'm gonna get tired after a lap of this. I'm gonna tear something. Oh, sugar. I don't like it. I like it, but my legs don't like it. My lungs definitely don't like it.
Cade Boos, the legend. 4 words muttered by an Eastwood student the first time I came to this high school. 5'5", it's not 4'9", and it's definitely not 4'5". Goodbye. How do you go from here to here?
The yellow boat from Cambridge has done it.
Well, the determination was there from the time he was 2 years old.
He could be stubborn.
Josh Konechny qualified for the Olympics last month as a part of the lightweight men's doubles sculls. I was able to catch up with Josh over Skype as he prepares for rowing's World Cup 2 next weekend in Switzerland ahead of the 2016 Olympics.
That's one of the things that really led me to continue rowing, was you can start from the bottom of the barrel, and as long as you work hard, you can get to the next level.
Growing up on the family farm, the Konechnys would tell you his success is owed to none other than the hay business.
The work ethic, I guess he learned it from the family. We try to live our lives that way, working here on the farm. School work, always challenging himself, trying to be a better student, better athlete.
Another factor was his high school coach, Rod McElroy, who saw something special just 2 years into rowing.
I believe his sophomore year he was in a first boat. I mean, he was that good. Slight, but you know, sophomores aren't usually in the first boat.
Even when I was a kid in high school, just dreaming about going to the Olympics, I'd watch all the races of all my heroes and be like, man, you know, I really wish I could get there. But it didn't really strike me until college that I'd have the capability to make it to the Olympics.
Yet, here he is, 2 months away from perhaps the biggest day of his life. And while Josh may not have been thinking Olympics early on, his father was.
I told him, and I think it probably scares him now. I said, if you get, that's my claim. I said, my payback is I want the first Olympic medal.
I have no problem giving that to Dad. Why not? Pretty much any medal that I earn is going on that oar. And if Dad wants to believe that he owns it while it hangs there, sure, why not?
The Oar of Glory bears dozens of medals from Josh's past. Directly across from it, a bulletin board with a quote, not from a famous philosopher, but from a younger Josh Konechny, keeping himself focused on his dreams.
I would look at that in the mornings when I didn't really want to get out of bed and think, you know, okay, how can I get better today?
While his post-Rio career isn't being considered just yet, one thing seems certain.
I don't think we're getting back on the farm again.
Yeah.
He's seen the world, so I think he's done.
Some awards are given out. These are earned. Mario and Moises Guillen started adding to their collection at about the same time that they were learning how to count them.
I mean, there's no question they were born to wrestle. I think Moises might have been born with a headgear on, actually.
Mario loved it that much that that's all he wanted to do was wrestle. And then we had Moises, so little,
but wanting to do it also, and he was just, I mean, it was a given. He had to put them wrestling shoes on too.
Stephanie gave birth to Mario on her 19th birthday. Moises came just 16 months later. Their father, however, has been gone since 2004. After domestic abuse issues, the elder Mario Guillen was convicted of involuntary manslaughter for a crime that took place in 1995.
My brother Joe he's always been there for me and my boys and my daughter also. And like I said, it was challenging at times being a single mom doing it, but I always felt like it was something that I needed to figure out a way for them to do it. Like, it was something that they loved, and I would never take that from them.
Uncle Joe has been by their side since they first took to a mat. Both Joe and Stephanie can be seen at every single match, cheering on the boys and helping them grow, both in wrestling and in life.
And they're the reason we got to travel to those big tournaments, and they were the ones that took us every time and the ones that always were pushing us. Like, when we were younger, we didn't always want to go to practice, and they were the ones that got us like to get up and go.
If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I'd still be wrestling. He's kind of just like guided the way.
I don't think either one of them could be where they're at without the other. Like, each of them was each other's greatest asset in the sport. Like, they both helped each other be where they're at.
Wrestling has never been just a hobby. It's a way of life for these two. Since they were growing up, they'd constantly be at arm's length.
But they just wrestled all the time. Like, it was nonstop, like, stop wrestling. We go to the grocery store, they'd be in the aisle wrestling. I'm like, it was crazy.
You know, a lot of kids just went to practice and went home, where these boys would come home and they'd do pull-ups and push-ups, and they would drill their skills and the stuff they learned at practice too. They'd come home and they'd drill it over and over until it was just clean.
And clean it became. Their resumes are near spotless. Just look at the wall at Perrysburg High School. Mario is set to take his talents to Ohio University this fall. As a junior, Moises awaits another year for that decision. While the future may be unclear, this weekend could be the last time these two take the mat together. But for this family, it's hard to believe anything could break them apart.
Is there anything better than playing football on Thanksgiving? Whether it's tossing your driveway as a kid or grown men in Ford Field, there's no tradition quite like it. The Lions have won their last 3 Thanksgiving games, and a win today means first place in the NFC North. First drive of the game for Detroit, Matt Stafford scans and finds Old Faithful. And Quan Bolden Lions go up early. Nearing the end of the first, Vikings had 17 rush yards in the first half. Here's 5 of them. Matt Asiata ties this game. Spoiler alert, those are the only 2 touchdowns of the entire game. Fast forward, under a minute to go, Vikings driving. Darius Slay inked a $50 million extension in the offseason, and this is why. He returns the interception to the 20, and that sets up this 40-yard shot for Matt Prater to win it. Ball game. The Detroit Lions are atop the NFC North with 5 games left to play. From the NFL to some high school ball, in less than 24 hours, the Whiteford Bobcats will take to that same Ford Field. Playing in the Division 8 state final, hopefully the turkey tonight puts them to sleep early because they got to wake up for an AM game against back-to-back state champion Muskegon Central Catholic. Closer down the road, Anthony Wayne continues to ride their best year in school history. They'll play a Cincinnati LaSalle team that is filled with D1 talent. For the Generals, the battle begins up front. An offensive line that has been dominant in the playoffs this far will look to do the same tomorrow night. And in basketball, the Toledo women improved to 4-0 today behind a 35-point victory. Kayla McIntyre led all Rockets with 12 points. The Cancun Challenge resumes tomorrow when Toledo plays UCLA at 6:30. Before I go, I want to give thanks for live streaming, as I know my family is back home in Northern Virginia, bringing me into their living room through a laptop. Thank you, love you, happy Thanksgiving. We'll be right back.